So if you're fortunate enough not to know who Hailey Welch is, you're one of the few. Because while her Hawk Tuah spit on that thing meme was funny in the summer for a bit, it did get a bit out of control. As first people like Zach Bryan had her on stage at his concert. And she was able to start selling merch for it in the form of shirts, hats, even blankets, which good for her for being able to capitalize on her fame. It's the people's choice who they want to amplify and celebrate. And while all of that was relatively harmless, where it went downhill was when she went on Bill Maher in August of 2024, and he had some advice for her.
You need to do a podcast. You do it right here on Club Random. I told you you were given this chip. You were given the chip of fame. Now you want to trade that in for something that uses that, but takes it to the next level. You have to like trade on what you're already known for. So you could do a podcast for, like, I don't know if there's anything from somebody that age with that point of view, but it couldn't be frivolous. You have to take it seriously.
And in September, she did indeed launch it, calling it the Hawk Tuah podcast. And at one point, it even became the #4 podcast in the US, behind Joe Rogan, Tucker Carlson, and Candace Owens, eventually eclipsing Candace and claiming the #3 spot, saying dumb crap like this.
So a shirt tussie is when you have a fat cooter and your cooter decides to take a bite out of your shirt. That's exactly what a shirt tussie is. And don't act like you haven't ever had one, or a
I've
moose
never
knuckle.
seen that before, actually. I've never... You're the first shirt
Well, hell, it's better than a camel toe.
I don't know, I'd rather have a camel toe than a shirt tussie.
Because at least, like, you're wearing the pants, it's not your shirt.
I hate to say it, but those lips look too little to be mine.
Which you can disagree with Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens, but objectively, they're far more intellectual than Hawk Tuah Girl. Which at the time I wasn't calling for her to be boycotted or anything. If Bill Maher wants to amplify her, so be it. But it seems like that fame was getting to her head, because in late November of 2024, she started teasing for a meme coin called the Hawk Coin, and launch it on that day she did. Now keep in mind, this was just days after Jack Doherty, who I've expressed my disdain for multiple times, did a pump and dump scam on people. And lo and behold, it appeared that it was the same way for the Hawk Coin, as the value quickly inflated and just as quickly crashed. And people suggested it was a pump and dump, as it hit a market cap of approximately $490 million within 15 minutes of launching, and shortly after, the value collapsed by over 93%, wiping out all these gains. And while it can be difficult to prove a rug pull, signs pointed to it because a substantial portion of the tokens were allocated to Welch, a community fund, and a reserve. Another 17 was strategically allocated for early investors and fully unlocked upon launch, and less than a quarter was intended to be accessible to the public, which indicates that there were people in on it and cashed out and dumped it after making profits, while the others who weren't in on it lost money due to the plummet. And this whole ordeal ended up getting her sued, in which investors in the coin were seeking more than $150,000 in damages and claimed that the coin was unregistered and illegal. Which, first of all, I never try to gaslight anyone who's a victim of a scam involving large sums of money. It's just that the Jack Doherty rug pull happened just days before the Hawk incident, and I'd imagine that the same people who invest in Jack's meme coin would be the same type to invest in Hailey's. As Minnow's Revenge said on X, thank you for reminding everyone why they shouldn't invest money into something that's promoted by a social media influencer. I mean, likewise for me, I wouldn't give financial advice to my audience. But anyways, after this incident, she kind of went silent for nearly 2 months, until recently, where she uploaded a video to her channel that she quickly deleted. However, with the internet being the internet, they were able to save it.
I'm back with another episode of Talk To, and I'm here with Banks.
There he is. This isn't necessarily my thing, but you're in an interesting position right now, and I feel like it's my duty to come on here and talk to you. You seem like a sweet enough girl, and I feel like I know more or less what happened with you. We're going to get into all that. I brought a couple crypto nerds with me. We're going to sit down and talk. And,
Teach me.
Yeah. How was the nap?
It's a very long nap.
This is mainly for me, and again, why I wanted to come here and talk about this is because millions of people are going to watch this. Everybody's kind of waiting to hear what you say. Everyone's kind of waiting to see how this plays out. And 99% of these people don't know about crypto. Just
and
like
I'm
you.
one of them.
Just like you. Exactly.
I'm one of them.
Exactly. That's kind of the whole point, right? There's a right and a wrong way to do this. It's mostly important that your network and the people that you trust to walk into this market are exactly that, people that you can trust.
I think that's where I messed up.
I can only imagine stepping into everything that your life's been the last year and the amount of time that you have been. I've been doing this whole social media content thing at a high level for like 15 years. I'm officially like Unk. And I still don't, have it totally figured out. But, and my was gradual. I like gradually got to where I am today, and you were like parabolic.
I want to start by saying thank you to all my true fans and all the people that actually watch my stuff and they keep up with me. We're trying to sort out all the pieces and stuff to like get all this figured out and make everything right. Oh my God, I'm going to cry.
No, don't cry. Don't cry. Don't cry. Everything's going to be good. We're going to be good.
I mean, so right off the bat, I feel like if she didn't know anything about crypto, why was she promoting this? Yes, she has a team and advisors and whatnot, but guys, she's in her 20s. I think when you're dealing with people's actual money, you should do at least some research. Like, I feel like if you wanted to actually help her, you'd give her some tough love. There's a way to show empathy, but also hold people accountable, and I personally don't feel like FaZe is doing the latter.
And guys, listen, just as a temperature check, I just want to say, the first thing that she said to me off camera was, the minute you DM'd me, I really wish I just texted you and called you. And that speaks to me because of how I was introduced to crypto, and we'll get into that. But Thread Guy and Frank, they're going to be on this episode. It's such a weird blend and mash of worlds. No,
It rolled out.
don't cry, Hailey. It's fine. It's all going to be okay. Life is going to be okay. Oh, Hailey, no.
Oh, don't do that. Don't stare at me.
No.
Like, he's treating her as if she Hawk Tuah on some donuts like Ariana Grande 10 years ago, which also wasn't okay because Grande also said she hated America. But I'm just saying that as an example, if the only thing that Hailey did was spit on some donuts, she'd take accountability and it'd be over. This is much different in my opinion.
I think that it's really, really important at this point to be totally transparent about everything that happened with you and your partners and this launch. And I want to get through all that. So I brought two guys that I live with and do this crypto shit at a very high level. I brought Thread Guy, he's the biggest streamer in crypto. And I brought Frank D Gods, who launched a very successful project last cycle. These guys are really, really sharp and they know this market inside and out. Everything that happened to you is really, really bad for the market. It's really, really bad for us. I hear everything that you're saying and you're a human being first. And no matter which way this falls, I mean, it might not ever be in a spot where it's totally good. You might have to hear about this for the rest of your life.
Probably.
But let's just be transparent and make it right. Let's bring in the
Can I have my
nerds.
tissue? Go. All right, you guys. I only got one sponsor left because there's some real ones and they've stuck with me since every bit of this started.
Okay, so here's another red flag for me is that she's monetizing this apology video, or at least intended to, which doesn't seem sincere to me.
All right, Mrs. Hailey. This is Thread Guy, the guy I was telling you about, the streamer guy.
Hi, Hailey. Thanks for having us.
Well, of course.
And then this is Frank D Gots. These are two of 10 of my little crypto nerds, I call them. And these guys do this at the highest level, and they're gonna help us through this conversation. And you have with us, he's off camera, but do you want to introduce?
I have my lawyer here too.
What's your name? Christian Barker. Okay, cool. How did this all happen?
So
Explain.
this idea got brought to me like months ago, and I was kind of, I don't want to do that. I don't know anything about it, and I've never heard the space is a good place to be. So I was like, I don't know about it. Which we trusted the guy that come to us. He was a friend of a friend, I guess you can put him. That was my biggest mistake.
Yeah,
I probably should have looked into him.
We heard a little bit
more.
about him. Apparently, he had like a pretty strong network in LA and kind of used that as leverage to, give himself a vouch. And I think the guy probably more or less overstated his qualifications in executing something like this. Fair to say,
Which is usually the case.
yeah, that's 99% of the time. What happened after that?
Well, really, everything went good, and then I noticed like the day of the launch, he was like a little weird about it. Like he was pacing around on the porch, and I don't know, it just makes you suspicious. And then I ended up going in that room over there to get on that live where I was like scripted to say this, that, and the other, but put it in my own words. So I done that, and then that's when you got on and you were asking him questions and he couldn't answer them. So I was like, okay, something's wrong. He can't answer a simple question. And then CoffeeZilla got on there. That scary guy, let me tell you, don't ever want to have a conversation with him.
We're a little bit more charitable than Coffee. I think Coffee kind of has a little bit of disdain for crypto in general, but Coffee definitely he's definitely asking the right questions. It's the way that he asks them maybe is why you guys can't really find a spot to talk or have any sort of conversation with each other. But we actually did talk to him. We had a conversation with him and he gave us some broad questions to share and ask you. They're good questions.
Oh, that scares me if they come from him.
No, don't worry about it. Don't be scared.
He's such a scary guy.
And for those who don't know, CoffeeZilla is a famous YouTuber with over 700,000 subs. And he was someone who exposed this scam, which is why she'd be afraid of him.
At the end of the day, he just wants to see people move the right way. There's a whole set of standards and rules that this market follows, and etiquette that people, respect. And that's what it is, right? And I think that's why we're here. Thread, Frank, maybe introduce yourselves and give your.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Frank. I've been in crypto for 4 years. I guess, do we just go to the questions first, or?
And also, she wasn't able to respond to the questioning, so her lawyer answered for her.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Natural.
Well, how much, did they offer you money up front? This is what I think the internet always wants to know is, do they offer you money up front, part of the tokens? How did that work?
So the deal, I can speak to that. So the deal that she did was a brand image likeness deal where they paid her $125,000 up front. They were supposed to pay her $200,000 after the launch of the coin within 30 days. she was supposed to have full transparency to tokenomics and everything going on, which they did stay in communication about it, but it just was an ever-evolving game plan. So back-end participation was to always be mutually agreed, and what they had agreed on in the tokenomics was there was a 10% allocation of the token that would be on a 1-year lock and then a 3-year drip after that. Of that 10%, half of that was supposed to go to the company that created the project and half was to go to her. So out of 100% of the token, she would have had 5% at the end. Obviously she has lawyer, manager, business manager, so even that 5% would have been cut down by over a quarter due to people that she has to pay out on her non-crypto.
So all the structure you just described, what happened to all that?
It's not like it has dissolved. That on launch, 3% of the token was made available for public trading. A lot of this information we found out since the launch. We, as in Hailey's internal non-crypto team.
Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I feel like your legal team should know about the structure beforehand. Review it so that you know whether anything looks fishy about it. And this is something that FaZe called out later, telling Hailey to fire everyone, saying this episode was leaked without his permission. As he posted on X, in an attempt to hear Hailey's side of the crypto scam story, I agreed to do our first podcast back, under the stipulations that 1, she'd not allow Marcus to be manipulated by leaking this episode's existence before a resolution was found. Number 2, her team finding a real solution regarding the money she made, where that should go, and what to do with the project moving forward. That these were non-starters and he was told the episode would only air if they explicitly greenlit it. These incompetent retards leaked and or inside traded the token. We noticed a random spike in volume on the coin along with random messages asking us if we did the podcast. Very clearly her team was not as solid as they claimed to be. They completely blew it and we called the episode off right then and there. Now today the episode randomly gets leaked and the price of Hawk is pumping and they completely fumbled the bag. Yet again, what a mess. Poor Hailey. Now Hailey, I'm gonna speak directly to you and say fire everybody. Your team's retarded. Which that's the one thing that's becoming clear. Maybe Hailey was kind of a victim and was duped, especially getting famous young. I do have some sympathy for her. And so I hope she does make it right somehow. I mean, I do have my doubts, but maybe she will. But I'm gonna say the same thing I said at the beginning. You cannot trust celebrities who have no proven track record of handling money. And if you fell for someone like Jack or Hailey's scam, hopefully this can be a huge wake-up call. But guys, I want to thank you all for watching this video as always, and if you appreciated my commentary, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, hopefully I've earned a subscription. Here's some videos for you to watch in the meantime. Until next time, peace out.